again, backyard business. And like I said, we're usually in my backyard, but this is an incredible backyard. I love this. And Neville Gardner, I love working with. I think you're amazing. What you do, you're so committed. I'm always afraid of you. I don't know why. You got that thing like I hope Neville. I want to be liked. I don't know if Neville likes me, but by the way, do you like me a little bit?
I do, of course.
Okay,
Absolutely.
But one of the things I love, so Neville being, if you can tell by the accent, he's not from the Lehigh Valley, but he just said he came across the pitch.
Yeah.
So in your world, a field is a pitch.
It's a pitch, yeah.
Yeah.
Hockey, like I'm a hockey player, right?
Yeah.
So
Field hockey.
we play on pitches. Yeah, like I suppose that's from...
And soccer also a pitch,
Soccer's a
isn't it?
pitch, yeah. Like the field thing is like... And we don't call field hockey, and we just call it hockey.
Gotcha.
That's
Yes,
real
that's
hockey,
right.
right? So,
And I refed ice hockey.
Yeah.
Hockey. But I want to ask you, tell me about Ireland. What's your memories? You grew up, was it?
well, it's a very friendly country. And of course, the big thing, Johnny Cash and everybody else thought about Ireland was it's very green because it rains all the time. Like last week, I had a group of customers on a tour. And I was telling them, like the week before, it only rained twice in Ireland. And they said, only twice? I said, yeah, once for 3 days and once for 4 days, right? So, I mean, the whole thing is it's quite a mild climate. People are friendly, lots of great social
it's
activities.
funny, I was watching the Open and they said, they were talking about people are taking trips now, and they said, if you take a trip, you better be ready. It's going to rain.
Put your raincoat on. I mean, sometimes it's raining sideways, But yeah, I mean, it's obviously a small country the size of Pennsylvania. If you turn Pennsylvania vertical, it's the size of Ireland, 300 miles, about 150 miles across. It's divided in two, obviously, because the north is still part of the United Kingdom. And so there's that's part of Great Britain.
Mm-hmm.
And the south, the other 26 counties are part of the Republic of Ireland. There's no border. And Brexit is really a happening thing there because there's no border.
Yeah.
And you've got northern counties that are in Britain and southern counties that are in Europe. So it's an interesting place to be right now.
Any unrest when you were growing up? Because there was for
Well,
some
when I was
time.
growing up,
Yes.
yeah, lots of unrest, yeah. But
Which was the basic principle of what?
Well, Ireland was colonized by people of the north.
I got
It
you.
was colonized by people from Scotland, England, and Wales by Queen Elizabeth and the First.
Okay.
Back in the 1500s, 1400s. So a lot of the land was taken away from the natives and given to the planters. And of course, then, the desire to have a united Ireland. And of course, you tend to have political boundaries which are mirroring religious groups. So I always tell people, if you're not confused, you don't understand. But right now, it's pretty peaceful.
Yeah.
There's a few nuts around, like anywhere. It only takes one nut to blow something up.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's really good.
So you get here, you have an amazing businesses. Besides that, I'll get to how involved you are in the city of Bethlehem. But how did you get into, you got a good thing going. How did that all start?
Well, I have an engineering degree.
Donegal Square, by the way, and
McCarthy's Red Stag Pub and Whiskey Bar.
There you go.
I have an engineering degree. I was playing hockey. I played hockey for Ireland. Field hockey, right, as you call it, on grass, turf, whatever. That's why I'm looking at this turf and thinking, this could be dangerous.
How'd you like it?
I liked it, yeah.
Good shape.
Yeah. Anyway, I came over with a touring team. Met a girl. I was just finished university. Met a girl from Bethlehem in Toronto and moved over here. Did a wee bit of consulting for the U.S. Olympic Committee for the 84 Olympics. Had an opportunity to change citizenship. Didn't. But my dad got very sick back in Ireland. I was working as a civil engineer and I needed to be able to come and go. I worked for a company in Allentown, a great company, engineering company called Pidcock Company.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I worked for them.
Funny, you worked for Pidcock.
Yep.
Okay.
Did my professional engineering license working for them. And then my dad got really sick. So I left there and got into my own business, thinking, it's a business in Ireland. I can go back and forwards whenever I feel like it. And hey, presto, here you are, almost 40 years later, it worked. Who knew it was going to work? I mean, how many of these harebrained ideas don't work? But
yeah, exactly.
I suppose it was a passion thing, and I was fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time.
Well, it's part of you, though. You're tenacious, really. I mean, when you think of you're in the retail business, you're in the restaurant business, and what's cool about it, all in one building. What a beauty. Did you, when you got into that building, did you buy it right away?
No, I didn't buy the building. Whenever we started the business, really, I didn't have two pennies to rub together. Got Celtic help.
And people say that, but you mean you?
Yeah, no, I mean, literally, I came to America with $700.
Okay.
Now, my wife had a job, so I wasn't totally legless,
Yeah.
But no, I didn't buy the building. When my parents, the little house I grew up in, when my parents passed on, no brothers, no sisters, Scottish Presbyterian, Irish person, sold the house, and the money that I got from selling the house was the down payment to buy the building that we're in currently. And of course, the idea was to kind of have the combination of a social gathering place, tea room and bakery originally, along with the retail. I mean, we modeled it on, there's a couple of businesses in Ireland that I really like, Avoca Hand Weavers. They have that weaving shed, and right next to it they have a cafe, and it worked. I thought, why not try it here? So that was the philosophy.
So if a guy like me, if I say I'm half Irish, am I just a poser, really? I mean, you don't really count it.
No, there's 40 million Irish people, Americans with Irish heritage.
That's true.
And there's more here than there are in Ireland.
So Tulin, that's my
I did.
Yeah, is that
absolutely.
Pretty popular name?
Pretty popular name, absolutely.
So you get here, like I said, all of a sudden you have the business, but you are so involved. Do you ever think to yourself, I don't need, I mean, you really are, and you love it, and not everybody can do it.
I think I might be a wee bit ADD. Yeah, my wife would probably tell you that I am. So it's easier to keep 20 of these plates spinning than to focus on one thing.
That's it. I know that person.
Right. So, I mean, it sort of suits my personality. I can be standing in a room with 30 or 40 people and hear what the person in that corner is saying. I shouldn't be able to, but I can. Yeah. So it works well in retail.
I want to talk about you again, but you're still playing hockey.
Yep.
And can I say you're almost?
I'm going to be 70.
Yeah.
And next month.
Wow. What do you think? What keeps you? Just that you're willing to do it, or you love it, or what?
Passion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my team. I'm playing for a U.S. over 65 World Cup team.
Oh, okay.
In a World Cup tournament in Cape Town against teams from all over the world, including Ireland. A bunch of my mates who are still playing. I'll be able to cross swords with them. Does
it get aggressive even at the 70?
Well,
65.
Field hockey's not a contact sport, but if you know how to hit a ball at somebody, it could be,
Yeah,
not saying I would ever do that now,
I know that.
But it's still very, very competitive. So it's a really fun. For me, it's sort of my passion. It's the passion thing that I do for myself.
What do you notice in this evolution of Neville about the area? I mean, you've seen it all.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy mostly in a good way.
Was Bethlehem as popular as active, as great, as successful when you first started?
No.
Okay, so you got in early.
Well, before the Commons building came, like that was the Orr's department store.
Sure.
The Deckers were going to turn the Hotel Bethlehem into an old age home.
Oh my gosh!
I would have gone down like a fart in a spacesuit. Can I say that? Sorry.
Wait, what is that? It's an Irish saying. What do you want?
That would go down like a fart in a spacesuit.
Okay. Anyway.
Well, if they would have turned it into an old age home, it would have wrecked the town.
Yeah. And
then if Lou Pector wouldn't have bought the Commons, and if the current mayor at the time wouldn't have built Ken Smith, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Wouldn't have built the part like the development that Edge is in. And the new parking garage before that all happened.
Oh, that's right.
It was crazy, and I mean, the
surface lot.
The town was kind of like on the edge of being nowhere. So I bought the building at the right. I didn't know that it was the wrong time. I just knew that it was the right thing for my wife and I to do, to buy the building.
Is it like Irish sayings, by the way? My grandmother, you ever hear this one? She used to say, "Oh, he's as Irish as Paddy's pig."
Yeah. Well, you know where that comes from, right?
No, but when I say it, people think I'm offending them.
Well, in the olden days, people had a cottage. They had a turf fire that they heated the cottage with, but they had a pig. And the pig gives off a lot of heat, right? So most people would have a pig in their cottage, and then when he got big enough, they killed him and ate him, So, but everybody had a pig in Ireland.
There's some good stories, I'll tell you that much. Neville, so you're how much longer are you going to? Well, it looks like you're at this forever, huh?
No, I'm not really working nor retired.
Yeah.
What is paid? Do you work hard? No, I hardly work.
I got you.
No, but I mean, most of what I do is fun. I've got great staff.
Running a restaurant isn't for the faint of heart.
It's definitely right? if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's a major project. But we've got good people, and we've got great customers, and right now we're going through a bit of a hard time just because it's an election year. We had bad weather, then we had hot weather. Then we had a fire. Then we had, all these other things came along. Then they knocked the parking deck down. I mean, we had to knock that deck down because it was so old.
Yeah.
You can't make a cake without breaking a few eggs, So we had to do it and get it over it, So hopefully, once we get past all that, we'll be on the upswing.
Who's your customer besides? I would be saying people in Bethlehem, but Bethlehem has a lot of tourism. Do you see that?
I do, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, and this whole UNESCO World Heritage thing, if and when it lands, which I'm pretty confident it will.
That's big stuff. Right?
I was just at Grace Hill in Northern Ireland 2 weeks ago, and that's part of the Christiansfeld in Denmark, Grace Hill in Northern Ireland, Bethlehem are all in this UNESCO thing together. I think that's going to bring a lot more tourism, historic travelers. As Bruce Haynes at the hotel loves to say, the historic traveler are the people who come and spend a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So we have those people. We've got the festival people. We've got the university people. We've got the pilgrims coming to see the Star on the Hill. You know, the whole thing.
Yeah, I was just had lunch, as a matter of fact, with from Discover with Alex, and he said one of the challenges, a lot of people come here, but just for the day.
Right.
And I think Bethlehem changed. I think with the hotel, that changes that dynamic a little.
Totally.
So you see them, though, say at the hotel, they're walking up, they're looking around. And
when we get a load of people coming to a special event at the hotel, we all get business, people staying and, even coming to the Sands. Well, Wind Creek it is now. Yeah. We get business from that. I mean, I'm turning my third floor into an Airbnb.
Oh, okay.
That's going to have a Lafayette feel because Lafayette stayed in our building.
Did he really?
But yes, there's a lot of great things bringing people. The universities obviously are huge.
How about George Washington? Did he stay there?
He stayed in the Sun Inn.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's like next door.
Yeah, just up the street.
Close enough.
Yeah.
When you watch golf, do you like Rory McIlroy?
Oh yeah, Rory's from about 20 minutes away from where I grew up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, very much. I love to see him doing better. You know, I think he got some bad karma for a few years there.
Oh man, on that putt, he missed that putt.
Oh, he missed 2 putts.
Yeah. Were you brokenhearted?
Well, I'm sure he was. It cost him like $2 million. You know.
He's doing pretty well, though. I think.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Other than that, what do you think of what do you see the future of the Valley? I mean, you're optimistic, or we've had
totally. I think it's all about looking forward and figuring out, like Wayne Gretzky, ice hockey.
Yes.
Right. Don't go to where the puck is. Go to where it's going to be.
Yeah.
So I think we have to think ahead a wee bit and figure out what do we need in order to make this a success in 10 years. Like when the city fathers put the gas lights and the brick streets in, the brick sidewalks.
Yeah.
That was thinking ahead. So we need to think that way.
I mean, Bethlehem has really been sort of the most, in terms of, has had a lot of success.
It's the cultural center of the Lehigh Valley, I think.
And I think a lot of it has to do, too, with the just the facade. The buildings are just beautiful. So it plays into the whole
and you've
place I want to hang around.
And you've got that Steel Barn district where all the big houses, Market Street, that have all stayed intact. And that historic district is fantastic, Just take a walk up. You could make a morning of just walking around downtown,
Neville, you're an amazing person. I guess like all of us, you've had, you have great success, ups and downs in life. And what's your secret?
I think being passionate about what you're doing. If you don't like what you're doing, do something else, right? I mean, isn't that it? Right? If you didn't enjoy what you were doing, you wouldn't be doing it for so long. So I think that's the key.
But you don't feel like you want to hang around and retire and hang around and do nothing, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not. Okay. Prevention of boredom is my goal. Yeah. I mean, I'd love to have time to go do the things I'd really like to do. Still play golf. Yeah. I mean, I'd be an awful golfer, but I'd have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I hear you. I think sometimes I'd like to have time to do that, but I love. It's, when you love what you do, and you keep doing it. I think it keeps us young.
I always feel like there's never enough time. It's the one thing you can't buy, right? Time.
Yeah. I always say to people, which I do really like you, but I have a tremendous amount of respect for you.
Well, thank you.
You've stood tall. You've led organizations when there's not always harmony. Cities, they are organizations. Sure. You all have the drama, but you've always stood tall. You're a really good guy.
Do my best. Thank you, Tony.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm half Irish.
All right, good.
Because I'm with you. Thanks, Neville.
Thanks.